So, um, so your question really about the art is incredible. It was funny how this all started because um, in November of 2007 we went to Peru. A month before that, as a part of all this adventure that I've gone through, one of the things I did was to see a number of professional, let's say intuitive people, psychics, astrologers, others of that kind. Some were not good, but I found two or three excellent people who would do this just from their heart. It wasn't for money. And one of them was, she was, I think, nominated the top psychic one year in Sacramento. Her name is Linda Schooler. And, you know, I went to her the first time, and she said, Tom, your life is going to change. And I said, how? She said, well, you're going to start traveling. And first it's going to be to the Southwest for about 6 months from now. And then you're going to travel internationally the rest of your life. I said, this can't be, because I'm working. I work hard. I work day and night. You know, it's just not going to be. It doesn't make any sense. By the way, this was in 2006 when I met her the very first time. And it just seemed unreal that this could be predicted. So in 6 months, we're starting to travel to the Southwest, to LA, to Malibu, to Palm Springs, and then it went to New Mexico and Arizona. And all four, partly for reasons of what's happened to me and I was exploring, but also reasons about my wife and friends that she had. And each of those trips had a meaning, ultimately. Well, so now I've been going to Linda a few times, and a month before we went to Peru in 2007, she said, Tom, I'll stake my life on this. Now when someone says that, that's serious. She said, I'll stake my life on, you're going to paint when you get back from Peru, pretty quickly too. And just paint whatever it is, don't worry about the quality. They just want you to paint. I said, who's they? They do, you know. And I said, well, Linda, now you said some things and some of them come true, but this can't come true. I don't know how to paint. I have no ambition to paint. I don't have an interest in painting. The last time I painted was when I was in kindergarten, and I did those finger paints, you know. So I said, I really have to disagree with you. This is not going to happen. Well, she was right again, because in 2 weeks after we came back from Peru, I'm walking down the street of a town nearby by myself, and it was, all I could feel was an energy come into me, like, I don't know, lightning? I don't know how to describe it, but it went right to my stomach, and I felt this craving, like you would feel if you were hungry for something. But this craving was to paint, and it was instantaneous. And I'm thinking to myself, what is this? It's like giving me a message to paint. You have to paint. It was almost like an addiction to paint. And I seen my wife just about an hour later. I said, you won't believe this, but we got to go to the art store. Well, he said, what are you talking about? You got to go to the art store. Well, I said, we got to. I feel I have to paint. Well, she was obviously dumbfounded by it, but I had to go. So we go. I pick up all these things, canvases, paints, and this and that. I had no idea what I'm doing, you know. And so I started painting that night. It was, I had to do it. It was such a strong feeling. And I took Linda's advice. I painted whatever I painted. I didn't self-criticize it. But I did find out over time that the more I painted on something, the worse it got. So I learned that usually my first iteration was probably the best. But anyway, you know, I went back to her and I said, how could you be right in that? And she said, you know, you just have to do this. Just do it. So I've been painting since 2007, and it's been very interesting from a creativity standpoint. It really has brought me a whole different side of my life. I like a lot of the work I do. If it's just for myself, it's fine. A lot of my artwork has been shown in shows, in offices, restaurants, that kind of thing. It's a weird feeling that you would do something that you have not been trained for, and you have never had a lesson in, and you just do it. And I find it to be an incredible experience to do that, and very rewarding. And when someone buys a painting, I am just, in a way, flabbergasted every time someone does that, because it's like a sign of acceptance and gratitude for what I've created. So I feel very blessed to paint now.